Because the politicians will go away, the regime will pass away, but your country will stay, the law will stay, your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth. And that is first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth. And that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
This impedimenta, combustible and volatile lemma, in its maximum exoneration, reminds me of the biblical Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. What germinated the abnegation and repudiation? What an academic academic yo-ho caused by these political yo-yos, political yobos, in their leadership rococo, leadership rababaration, in conjunction with administrative bemusement, holy poly, and discombobulation, in their obstreperous, malevolent shenanigan and hocus pocus agenda. Your boo-boo has put into your business the bifurcation and abdication of the vision in the name of honorificability to the nitatibus, just to score cheap political points. Then floxina, sinihilipilificating. You see, the stilty, politicals of torrent rodomotates and defalcators that you and I know, the lab annotation of their eleemosinaries, ostentatious and libidinous lifestyle, shows that they are out. Oh, obliteration, mutilation, decapitation. Say no to this academic bantigism, academic noctambulism, and academic malocclusion, which their children are not part of. It's in a political somnambulism and malocclusion. It's in a financial and economic bantigism. Look at the way the game politics is becoming a bugaboo. What a political holy bully. What a political hoity-toity. What a political foodie-doody. What a political hocus pocus they have come with. What a political jabberwock. What a political poppycock. What a political gobbledygook. With this consternation, I ask that you accept my pertinacious circumlocution. Accept my pertinacious circumambagous, grandiloquence, and magniloquence. But I will tell you this, I will not kowtow in Japoho. I will refuse to kowtow in Japoho. Thank you. This impedimenta, combustible and volatile lemma, in its maximum today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. What an opprobrium, what an odium, what an ignominious memento. That even at the barbituration of the so much acclimatized by a scrupulous, fastidious, puritanica, boisterous, energetic, and a routine, but today for party affiliation, sentiments, for political somnambulism and malocclusion, he has chosen to remain close-mouthed, reticent, taciturn, uncommunicative, and unforthcoming, meaning he has kowtowed in their poho. This is sardonic, opprobrious, malevolent, contumelious, erroneous, lugubrious, and exasperating. What a political baloney. What a political ballyhoo. What a political bunkum, balderdash, and hogwash. At this point, I will borrow the words of the great sesquipedalian, logomanian, that it is crystal clear, like the biblical menemeneteke you've seen, that this administration has no blueprint on socio-economic matters. But I will advise you to tell Mr. President that following his antecedent and pedigree, we know him, he can do better. Tell him to do better. But at this point, we will not kowtow in their poho. It's in a political somnambulism and malocclusion. It's in a financial and economic bantigism. Look at the way the game politics is becoming a bugaboo. What a political holy bully. What a political hoity-toity. What a political foodie-doody. What a political hocus pocus you have come with. What a political jabberwock. What a political poppycock. What a political gobbledygook. With this consternation, I ask that you accept my pertinacious circumlocution. Accept my pertinacious circumambagous grandiloquence and magniloquence. But I will tell you this, I will not koto in Japoho. I will refuse to koto in Japoho. Thank you. And why we should go through this rigorous, chaotic, demoralizing and inexplicable situation? After much cogitation on this clandestine and surreptitious, furtive, he said, and I quote, "I am not a magician. Forgetting words are like egg. Once broken, they are gone. Once spoken, they remain indelible in the heart of man." Come to think of it, do they have the powers, the spiritualism, the abracadabra, the voodoo to perform the magic, and as well transmogrifically transmute and transfigurate this ugly, debilitating, and exasperating situation? I saw it. The locution, "I am not a magician," in its jocularity in quote 1. 2, the uncircumscribed bluster and in a vituperative ululation. I saw it in their hocus pocus explicandum, explication, elucidation, where we thought the shibboleth was a travesty and a parody to lampoon the masses expected a limousinary from the government. After the miserly, the niggardly, the chasapering, the penurious, and the parsimonious, that I will say and remind us at this point in time that this is democracy. The government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Not oligarchy, plutocracy, and aristocracy. The catchword, the byword, the shibboleth, the locution, the conversion, the paroxysm, the spasm are counterintuitively excruciating, malodorous, horrendous, odoriferous, and odorous. But I pray that the so much acclimatized transmogrification, the so much acclimatized transmutation is not an act of sarcasm. Could it be that we are heading for better days? Could it be the political Moses that will take us to the promised land? Only on this note will I koto in Japoho, or else I will not koto in Japoho.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happen in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much
important. His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
The weekend. Thank you that you joined us. But we must acknowledge God first in everything. He is good. He is faithful. He is kind. He is loving. He is just everything unique in himself for our benefit. What the God he is. Faithful in all of his ways, never reneging on his promises, but fulfilling every word that comes out of his mouth confidently. He is God. He is faithful. And you want to testify just everything he is and all that he has done for you, keeping watch over us throughout the week, holding us together as a united family with a common bond, a covenant bond, and then leading us through our enemies who have planned a vision, attempted executing their sinister plans, only to see us sailing through. He was right when he said, when the enemy set all of their traps, and they think that you will fall in their death trap, it will just be a shadow that you will see. Though we walk through the shadow of death, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. They lead us through and every other thing. That's what it is with Kings 88.5. So we can help but acknowledge God and testify. So thank you for being with us throughout from Monday to this day, Friday. And you're going to be with us during the week, though we will not be on the air all of the shows at the recess, but we are still around at the station and then getting things done. On the other side, there's the sporting event. You heard it yesterday, last night from Teacher Light. It's going to be all Saturday sports festival, communing together with the global icon and other people. And then we stay on the air, yet ready for Monday. So thank you all for the support, the pieces of advice, just everything. All of you people, you've been so good. It's because of you. We go sacrificial. We think of you every day and we do this sacrifice for you. If God has been good to you, testify. If God has brought you out, testify. If God has been just anything to you, acknowledge him, testify. Let's get started with the group Elevation Worship. This one is called Testify. Shalom and his boys and girls.
Louder and louder, louder and louder. Make it louder and louder until the whole world knows, until they know. Make it louder and louder. Make it louder, make it louder. Hey, make it louder, make it louder. Come on, sing it out. Until the whole world knows. Make it louder, make it louder. Hey, make it louder, make it louder. Make it louder, make it louder to the whole world. Until the whole world knows. Make it louder, make it louder. Hey, make it louder, make it louder. Make it louder, make it louder to the whole world. Until the whole world knows. Make it louder, make it louder. Make it louder, make it louder. Make it louder, make it louder. until the whole world knows. Make it louder, make it louder. Make it louder, make it louder. We can't be quiet. Make it louder, make it louder. Until the whole world knows. Make it louder, make it louder. Make it louder, make it louder. Every tribe, every nation, make it louder. Every tongue will confess. Make it louder, until the whole world knows. So we can't be quiet. So we can't be quiet. We have to tell the world until the whole world knows. Until the whole world knows that you're the God of healing, that you're the God of freedom, that you're the God of revival. Until the whole world knows that you don't give up, you don't give in. You're faithful to the ages. Your name is great and mighty to save. Your name is great and you're mighty to deliver. We will tell the world. We will tell the world until the whole world knows. Oh, yeah. The whole world knows. I will never be silent. You've done too much for me to be quiet. Ooh, it's just who you are, God, and it's what you do, God. I will never ever be silent. Let the storms rage on, let the winds begin to blow. I will be still my soul. I will never be quiet.
Never ever can be quiet.
Hey, so testify.
Testify if God has been good to you.
If God still
Testify if he still provides.
He's been good to you. Praise and shout if he brought you out. Everything with breath, sing praises. Everything with breath, sing
praise. Yes, the group Elevation Worship. Testify if God has been good to you. Testify if God brought you out. Testify. There is no place that I be going that I'm left alone. The words are so unique. Yes, like I'm inspired, thrill, into Western songs. They bring God before you. Unlike those African things, they just make noise. No condemnation, but I hardly listen to African songs. There are a number of good, inspiring African gospel, especially the one from Northeast Africa, Jamaica. I like songs from Zimbabwe, from Kenya, Mozambique, Jamaica. Good, they inspire you. They bring God before you. You see God before you. But the ones, no condemnation of our country. There are a number of good songs. The ladies here, they really good, but they need to do a lot more. It is the only country that I know a song is produced this week. Next week, you hear the artist producing a new album. 2 days after, producing another album. Song is a message. You're sending out a serious message. You are also educating. You are edifying. You are instructing. You are doing a lot more. It's not the recognition. But I have known most of the gospel artists in Liberia to be people who fight for recognition. They want to be known. So you hear them, I produce this album. Next week, I'm producing the next album. I want you people to come to my launching. 2 days after, they say they're launching another album again. So you see it just that kind of way. Their songs, obviously, honestly, I'm not inspired. Yes. I like songs that bring God before the wordings. Shalabo. So you see, these are songs that worth listening to. They bring God before you. All right. So thank you all. Let's get started. Not much today. They say tomorrow, Valentine's Day, Roof Bodua Ban. Thank you, Jesus. Yes. My man, we're talking serious thing here, man. Amara, Camara, Brussels, Belgium, Royal Always Va, Roof Bodua Ban, USA, Emmanuel Bro, Minnesota, USA, Josephus Manning, Miata Dan. Miata, how are you saying? Yes, yes, great. Thank you. Thank you, Miata. Good. Yeah. I recommend Miata. There are several. You have yours, but I also suggest to you, you follow the group Elevation Worship. Yeah, but you have yours already, and I know you have listened to, you have some of the songs from Elevation Worship. They are good, and several Western guys, songs, musicians, they are good. They bring God before you. I like Western song, and there's nothing extra in it. Just when I was small coming up, I never listened to any African whatsoever, only Western. I just disciplined myself to Western because I got to like Western. So I grew up with that. I don't like listening to any other songs besides Western songs. Yeah. I shuttle between the various groups and artists, everybody. Yeah. They are good. Very good. Elevation Worship. They produce Jara. They produce Talking to Jesus. They produce Never Lost, that God never, ever gave up in any battle, and a lot more. They're very good. Yeah. Manjabes Son, Camara, United Arab Emirates, Tobasi, Kogwe, Wida, Magibi County, Julie Kennedy, Gay Badzone, Badnersville, Keba, the township or the palace of the regime speaker, Gate, Do community, Renin Bo, Badnersville, District 11, palace. You're in a palace. You're in a regime speaker palace. Yes. Patricia Brown, Rehab ELWA community, Philip Tokpa, James Carpenter, Harport City, Maryland County, Lawson, Philip Kura, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Bengali Conan, great, Murphy Hinen, D9, Zoga, Malu Fofana, 20th Street Sinker, Emmanuel Gueb, Flantan Community, Japan Freeway, Bapin Paul Lee, Johnsonville, Stanley Boso, Congress City, Sophie Blamo, Nathaniel Taylor, Henry Tito Jr., David Williams, all of you great people, Jukonti Chie, Quellen Banks, Broville Moton Conon, Ma'anin Son, Montari, Jumon Colley, Osman Saul, Gabriel Lawson, I Am Factory Bros Street, Rita Christine Haidt, Minnesota, USA, Lawrence Winning. Hey, my boy, Slipway. Great. Lawrence Winning. You're there, Slipway. Thank you for coming on. All right. We can help but bring on one of the nicest persons on earth, one of the most just like, no, can be like, but has the characteristics as given by Jesus Christ. Very good person, very good lady. My dear sister, Orita Sunday with Choir, good to have you on. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for everything. We appreciate you. You are such a good lady, very good. And God rewards you for everything. Thank you so much. We can appreciate you the more. Orita Sunday with Choir. The chairman, one and only chairman, Roman Rico, chairman for life. Yes. Latupan, Kenny Ball, Block 13 Intellectual Center chairman. Good to have the common citizen chairman on. All right. Let's get into what we've got. Just a single foreign development. I thought since tomorrow is Valentine's Day, I didn't know that tomorrow was Valentine's Day, but I know today is the 13th. So after the 13th, then it's 14 until somebody said tomorrow, Valentine's Day. Okay, that's good. So Valentine's Day, and the women take over Valentine's Day. They get so possessed with Valentine's Day as if the day was meant exclusively and entirely for them. But tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So I thought to bring just one event, not necessarily on Valentine, but how people take advantage of the internet for opportunity. It works in some people's favor. Some people, it wouldn't go well. It hasn't gone well. Some people made first attempt, didn't work, second attempt. Some people use that to fetch relationship. Some people use the internet just for anything, because the internet is just repository of not only knowledge, but repository of opportunities, windows of opportunities. All around the world, people are using dating app to find romantic connections. You can deny that. On the African continent, a survey was conducted, and that survey showed that Kenya and Cameroon topped the list with growing number of dating connections. BBC Onkechi Ongono spoke to a Nigerian couple who met on a dating app and got married suddenly, immediately, rapturely.
It was during the lockdown, and I was bored, and I just found out that the app was actually a dating site. I had no idea. So I just downloaded it and, signed up, and I didn't know that if you swipe left or right, then you've matched or paired with the person. So I was just, swiping. And then a couple of days later, I saw you've been matched with Emeka, and I saw his bio saying, "Are you lost, baby girl?"
Oh my goodness.
And randomly, I said, "Yes, I am." And that was so weird for me. And then he responded.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, now Emeka, were you also impressed by what you saw?
I was blown away.
Ooh, okay. Now let me just get to Nana, bring you in a bit here at this point. You've tried dating apps, right?
Yes, I have.
But why did you decide to go to a dating app to find love?
By that time, I was heartbroken. So I had that idea in my mind that if you go to dating app, you'll get white men. So that's what I wanted. Which I never got. Yeah.
How long were you on these apps, having tried looking for your one on a dating app?
I was juggling like 3 different apps. So each app I was taking like 2 or 3 months.
At the same time?
No, not at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had tried
When
the
I
first
got
one.
fed up with the first one, then I exited and then I went to the second one.
What exactly was your experience with each of these apps?
At first, I thought it was because of the app. Secondly, most of them were just jokers.
When you say jokers, what does that mean?
Somebody will ask you for your number. You just give out your number. You go to the WhatsApp. They started being creepy, asking for nude photos, of which I couldn't. They wanted to do video calls.
And you had never met
and I've never met
physically
Yeah,
before?
never. Yeah. Others were asking me to go to their places. That was a red flag for me. You can't be talking and then the first date you want me to come to your place. Those were the things that made me to exit the apps.
But what did you know about the apps before you joined? Did you have any expectations?
I had expectations.
Okay.
I thought that I'll find the one.
Amaka and Emeka, I want to bring you in here to talk about what I ordered versus what I got. When you actually met, was it what you saw online that you saw in reality?
Yes, actually, it was. I would say even better.
Yeah, that's the part I was waiting.
Aha! Now, Emeka, it's your turn. You have to tell us.
Absolutely, I would say that she looked way better than she did with the pictures. One thing I did notice then that she was so fresh.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
I know. Emeka, now, sometimes there is this air when you tell people, oh, I am on a dating app or I met someone on a dating app. There's that. Some people tend to be very judgmental and there's a stigma around it. So when you finally told your family, I have seen someone that I think I like on a dating app, what was their reaction?
So my mom, we're very close. So she's aware that, I met him on the dating site. But a couple of my friends, I would say one, she had a couple of friends too that were more exposed than I was. And then they were like, I shouldn't even waste my time, that I should be very careful. I shouldn't put my egg in one basket, just have their opinion that it's never serious on there.
Emeka, did your family also say Amaka wasn't the real deal?
No, they didn't have any reservation aspect. I think they were surprised, if anything, after she met most of them, and then they had very, very good things to say about her. And then they were like, oh, how did you guys even meet? And then I mentioned, and they're like, oh, so there was always this, oh, kind of reaction.
We've actually seen some articles about swiping fatigue and dating app burnout. Did any of you experience any of this? I'll start with you, Nana, because you have been on like 4 different dating apps. Did you have dating app fatigue or burnout?
Yeah, I did. I don't know how I'm going to explain it, but I'll tell you it's tiresome.
I would say yes, it's a thing. There's only so much you can swipe left or right. It does happen to most people. There's this thing about like when you keep having options upon options upon options, at some point you're like, ugh.
Like
what's really the point? Yeah. At first, it's exciting because there's just so many pool of people that you can potentially just seek to know. But at some point, you're just like, okay, I'm done.
Nana, where do you prefer to meet people now?
This thing you may never know. I can even go outside there and I find someone. I can go to the matatu or in a taxi, in a club, in a restaurant, and I get someone. So that's what I believe in. You don't look for love, it will find you.
How has been your experience dating ever since you left the app?
I think when you're saying dating online, it is transactional. Also dating outside the app, it's transactional. When 2 people meet up or they start dating, each person has a motive. The other one maybe wants money, the other one is for love. So I'm telling you, it's bad.
So that's it. 2 couples explaining how they got connected and then they consummated their relationship. That's what it is. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed of making attempt. Take into consideration the risks involved, but be hopeful that it might work. On the other hand, you have to be a bit cynical that it might not work as you want it, but the world is window of opportunities. You only need to exert yourself that will be doing it for that. So since tomorrow is Valentine's Day, we will close with that. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Let's focus on what came out of the Supreme Court today. I've been wondering how what was running through his mind sitting before the full bench of the Supreme Court. And after the verdict was handed him, what ran through his mind, and when preparations were underway to take him to jail, what was running through his mind? Was he thinking political, thinking institutional? Did he think betrayed by the group or party he supported, or that mission accomplished from the other side of the bargain? Because his wife came out to say that he was being paid by some opposition unity party persons to insult former President George Weah, his people. So that was his mercenary assignment. Now, he comes to Liberia with the same attitude. He finds himself in a terrible situation. The people he was working for, his employers, don't see him as desirable character any longer, but rather undesirable character. Hence, their decision to strain the beast of him, as Aristotle would say in one of his pieces. He got his reward, but not a satisfactory reward. He had thought he had gotten the full support, the backing, the covering, just everything protective of a person, or that a person deserves, having done all he was told to do against the former government. Prophet Key goes to jail for 6 months. That's the ruling. 6 months. The court said he's jailed for contempt or contempt of court, and that the term they act against him, sending him to jail 6 months, as precedent, meaning they have set in place this as a precedent, meaning anybody who goes on to insult, they will use the Prophet Key case, they will reference the Prophet Key case as a justification for sending anybody, politician, journalist, civil society person, just anybody who insults in Liberia. That what a precedent is, something that you can use as justification for what you want to do. So if they say this journalist sat on the radio and insult the president, they come out, they summon you, indict you, 6 months in jail or even more than that. Then their lawyer will argue. If you went to the court, they base most of their argument on precedents. Sometimes they use the word opinion, meaning an idea was done. And this idea, this is how the court ruled, or this is how the court did not rule as it was argued and needed to. So say in the case involving Joe Public and Cynthia Moore, reference so and so causing XYZ. Your Honor, here is it. It is the law. Prophet Key was sent to jail for XYZ or for cursing. We have a precedence in our law. We have an opinion. When I told you people last week that this whole thing is a trap they're setting. You remember when President Bouaka said he doesn't listen to radio because the people get on radio, they say all kinds of things they cause. Before then, what they say, Unity Party people have been saying that people get on radio, they curse the president. They curse the president, they talk to the president any kind of way. And they have been looking all along for some kind of opportunity. This whole Prophet Key something, not necessarily that they see Prophet Key as being in the wrong 1,000,000,000%, but they see Prophet Key as the person, the only person, no other person they can use but Prophet Key. You can take another person and say the person as being insulting or contempt of court. All the civil society organizations, all the journalists in this country, Press Union of Liberia, all the human rights lawyers will gang up against the government. So they look at Prophet Key's situation. Prophet Key made it easy for the government because he used 6 years. And even though those 6 years, they were enjoying it. They were enjoying it. They did not know their own predator was about to go against them, because you never rely on a predator. A predator always, the predator will work for you. You will team the predator will train the predator, do everything. But when the predator turns against you, it's very hard to team that predator, because it is within the predator. You put violence in the predator. Whatever you put in the predator is what the predator will live by. And once that predator turns against you, what it did against others will do to you. So they nurture, they developed, they train, they nurse their own predator. Now the predator is against them. They come to hold him. Not necessarily that he is 1,000,000,000 wrong, but they're trying to set a precedent. That's why the code said precedent. Meaning, going forward, any journalist who sits on a radio and insults the president or insults any government minister or say things that the government don't like, it will come against you. You'll go to 6 years in jail. What's going to happen is you're going to find this government putting many journalists, civil society, politicians, just anybody that will say something that would not be desirable in the ear of the government. What you're about to witness is the government, the Unity Party government, going to stifle free speech. Already they have succeeded. They have succeeded in stifling, or to put it simply, they have succeeded in making sure that no freedom of assembly, nobody will assemble anywhere in this country to exercise the right. They have succeeded in that. The next thing they are attempting to do, using the Prophet Key situation, is to silence any voice that will be undesirable in their ear. They could find no other person to use as president but Prophet Key, because half the nation just uncomfortable with his behavior. That's why you see everything went against him. Half the nation went, they don't like his behavior. But people have been cursing. The same people were here in Ellen's government. They had a couple of people who were insulting. Ellen felt uncomfortable with that. Ellen called the Press Union of Liberia, the leadership, to a meeting to put that under control. And they told her what they needed to have told her as per the law, a freedom of speech, free association, and every other thing. And she conceded. She could not do nothing, even though at a certain point in time she was using the police to clamp down on freedom of expression, to clamp down on freedom of association. We know that for a fact because we saw Ellen's regime. We're second guessing nothing yet. But telling you what we saw in Ellen's regime. When former President Weah came, what did he do? He said, it can't be like this. The people have rights. Moreover, if we keep trampling on the people's right, it will reduce our democratic culture. Let's decriminalize this, decriminalize that, decriminalize this. What happened? The Abdullah Kamara Act. It came into being. Weah's administration, even though it started from the Ellen's administration, but everything was consummated or completed in Weah's administration. That is why during Weah's time, nobody went to jail, no journalist was jailed, no journalist was called for questioning by the police, no journalist was picked up, no politician, even though people were saying all kinds of things. People would get on the radio. Living story, I'm telling you, we've been here. We saw Ellen administration, we saw Weah's administration. People would get on the radio, insult the president, insult the former president's wife, insult every other relations of the former president. You will hear people, or you will hear people then talking in scary voice. You're listening to the thing the people talking on the radio. Look at how they're talking to the president. They even talking all kind of baba thing on the president, where the government go for the people. We scare, or the police will go to that radio station. You hear people saying those things. We heard them. Plenty of people got afraid. Amen. The people who get that radio station, the government will close it. Look at the thing the people talking about the president. Look at how they're talking about the president wife. The country here, I know what kind of country we in. You hear people talking that. Just imagine people don't even know nothing about politics. Scared. One day, Joe, we ain't send anybody to radio station to wait for a politician when they finish. They carry them, or journalists when they finish talking. People used to go free in a nail. They're on the radio, blasting, cursing, all kind of things. Nobody will hammer them. When it became rampant, you're listening carefully. It became so rampant. It became the normal. It was led by Representative Yeke Koluba. People started following in the footsteps of Representative Yeke Koluba. Yeke was consistent. Former President Weah made a statement which did not go down well with everybody, including me. I was reside his house on 9th Street. There where Capital FM was. Reside his house. He would pass every day. When he passed in, I can also wave. He went to dedicate a market, I think in the Pinsville or Oro area. And there, when he was called to speak, he said, if anybody continue to insult the president, you will not walk on the street. We said, no, we'll talk to the air. I said, no, the president was wrong. Mr. President should not have made that statement. Such a statement, you will not, your people will not, but other people will capitalize on it, and it will go against the government because the information came from the president. Less than no time, condemnations all over everybody. That was taken back. Thank you, Emmanuel, brought Dupo Road Market. I can remember. I was in the afternoon the same way. I still in the afternoon, only a few, at a short time I stay in the morning. I still in the afternoon, the same way or in the afternoon. Yeah, and the president went there, I think around about 12:12. So I went on. Capital even with bits and pieces. When he made that statement, cut that clip. I said, no, the president was wrong. This way, you will create an atmosphere by which people will now withdraw They will be afraid to express themselves. People will take advantage to go after people whom they perceive. And then others start reacting. The president withdrew that statement. He did. Former President Weah withdrew that statement. That's how the whole thing subsided. Yeke became more energized, so releasing his cousin Mizat here and there. The other people join him. Guess what happened? Former President Weah took upon himself, not with the advice of any one of his advisors, not with any external input, but himself consciously to call Yeke and the rest of the people. Who escorted Yeke? It was the caucus. I think Grand Judea caucus. So the caucus was led by the guy. He was working at the Ministry of Information. He was representative. He died. Representative Francis Dopo, now senator for River G County. He was there. Let me see who. I think there were 6 or 7. It predominantly representatives and senators. In former President Weah's house, he openly, honestly told Yeke that there is no need for XYZ. It's not because I'm the president, so you think that I will do this or I should do that. Whatever I may have done to you, let us trash everything out right here and be finished with it. The history is there. It was the former president that sent for Yeke. Yeke was escorted by some of these people. I can't remember all of them by name, but I can remember some. You call Senator Francis Dopo. He will give you the entire detail because he was there in the office of the president, in the house of the president, former President Weah. And we are openly, with a clear conscience, told Yeke, whatever may have happened, I do not know if I wrong you, whichever way I wrong you, I'm not too big to say sorry. Meaning, yeah, after, I'm not stopping you from cursing the other people, but let us be at peace. It's a democratic culture. Yes, you can curse me, the other people can curse, but let us not use the cursing to divide ourselves. What did Yeke do? Yeke brought a Charles Taylor situation. He said former President Weah's advisors were misleading him. They were ill-advising him. And if he's not careful, if he continues to listen to his advisors, he will end up like how Charles Taylor ended in a British prison. Just a piece I'm giving you. Journalists are people who keep history in the mind. Beyond that, former President Weah allowed people to exercise their right democratically. Say whatever they wanted to say, they decided to say, they planned to say, whatever they wanted to do. He never stifled free speech. There were demonstrations, freedom of assembly, demonstrated all over the place. All of you people know of the various protests, the June 7 protests, the step down campaign, and every other thing. All of you people know. Not a single day people wouldn't come out. Not that President Weah could not stop people from demonstrating their rights, speaking out as Unity Party is doing today, but he felt that democracy goes with respecting people's right. It is a fundamental ingredient to any government venture. It was one of the reasons why President Weah was attracting funding and getting recognition from international bodies. People didn't know. Yes, say that. When you say, oh, the MCC compact, and you say when it came out, United Party said we did nothing, and the people themselves came out, job creation. And you see how the in just under 2 years, the number of job his government created, they gave him recognition for it, and several. It's because they were looking at those things and they say, oh, but the Liberian president allowing freedom of speech, freedom of association. These are things that the people look at to determine whether your government is democratic or not. Living story are telling you people, even some of us who in the media and stay in the media got afraid. People get on radio station. They will cause we are former president, we are power. They will go to his wife. They will go to his mom. I said, Unity Party people were enjoying it. It was so unique to them. They will pump these guys. Didn't Prophet Key wife, what did she say? Prophet Key wife said that some people within Unity Party were sending money to them, abroad just to insult former President Weah and his officials to upset the government. So they were on a paid mission. They were accomplishing the mission. They were being paid. They were hired as mercenary consorts. They were hired as mercenary consorts, causing the president or. Then they did not stop there. They told Prophet Key, as you do this, don't come to Liberia. If you came to Liberia, former President Weah will kill you. Don't come to Liberia. That's how Prophet Key took the decision to stay in Morocco for as long as he felt it was safe. Because Unity Party people, they were telling the others, if you came to Liberia, former President Weah or President Weah will kill you. Eugene Fagon sat on Spoon Talk and said, John Molu, the former editor, he was on their show, and he said, my man, I know that you are en route to come to Liberia, but I advise that you do not come to Liberia. If you went to Liberia, President Weah will cut your head off. That's what he said. That's how they portray it. So the mercenary cursor kept on insulting, kept on using all kinds of things going on women in this country. Fast forward, here we are. Now they want to use, or they think they are smart enough to use Prophet Key's situation to clamp down on free speech in this country. That's exactly what they're doing. You don't see it that way, and you people, oh yes, the man and you're causing all over the place, and they're not catching on that his own people. Don't see it like that. No, that is a trap. Don't get excited. You should not even be excited because Prophet Key has been sent to jail. You should look at it beyond Prophet Key going to jail. The court said it is a precedent. And precedent means an example that is set that will become a law, a reference point in the future. Anyone who does that, who does the same as Prophet Key. So it tells you journalists will go to jail. Anybody who the government deems as being insultive, anything going forward now, they're telling you by that precedence, they will determine. They will determine. So if you came out and spoke, the government will say, but this is an insult. And then they will put all the legal thing to it. Hear what Prophet Key's wife said. My husband is not a rude man. He is very decent. My husband can be on his own sitting. People can pay him. People can pay him to curse. He's not a rude character. He has his office that people can go to for services. And in one of his podcasts, he said they were sending him money. The very Unity Party people in opposition, they were wiring some funds to him so that he will continue cursing. Their own predator now has turned against them. You don't mind that thing they're doing over there. You look at it from what I'm telling you people. You look at it. And the Supreme Court say, and precedence is being set, you'll watch it. You will see. They want to target, or they are targeting certain media institutions and individual journalists. Remember, since Boakai went to the Capitol building and said, hooligans burn the Capitol, and we'll make sure that we get them. What do you see from that day? They try, no way. What happened to the case is in oblivion. He goes to deliver his State of the Nation address. The first line of his State of the Nation address, the Capitol buildings. Because he thinks that somebody or people from the opposition did it. That their target is opposition radio stations and opposition individual journalists who are critical, and they will term their statement as being inimical to the peace and stability of this country, and then they give a jail sentence. Here is the tier one. When they nominated the Chief Justice, I said that the Chief Justice is a Unity Party Chief Justice, and that Supreme Court going to be a Unity Party rubber stamp. What do you see happening? What do you see? So it's not the excitement that you should live with. Yeah, they sent Prophet Key to jail. Free speech does not constitute jailing. You don't stifle free speech. A government that reaches this point tells you that they can go at length at any institution and individual. But it will not be bad when they start hunting media institutions to close down, hunting individual journalists, because that's how every funding will stop coming to this government and the country will suffer. When they're doing it to other countries, we say in Liberia, we can be in Liberia laughing. These are things that people look at. So it's not really Prophet Key causing and they're saying to jail 6 months that you should be excited. Look at what the Supreme Court said in its ruling. So they said that he should do a public apology in 5 newspapers. 5 newspapers. That's what they will be doing to targeted journalists and targeted radio stations. When you go, they send you to jail, they announce your verdict, then they say you must put it in this paper for 5 days or 6 days or 10 days. They told Prophet Key, put it in a paper that I apologize for what I said. I was wrong. I lied. And I will never do it again. They say Prophet Key must put in the 5 newspapers 5 days running that he will never curse again. He will never curse. That's what they told Prophet Key to do. That he will never curse. He must put it in a newspaper, then everybody will have it. So when in a newspaper, you know what that? The newspaper is what? The newspaper is evidence, it's practical evidence. It's readable, it's carryable. You can carry it with you. It lasts for several months, years. It becomes a precedence or a reference document. We say, here is it. Here is it. They'll go in court when their perceived targets, their perceived opposition targets. And I'm telling you, one day y'all say, oh, but that thing Sam Andrews was talking on the radio, I can see why they were doing that thing. So they were only using Prophet Key as a precedent or setting a precedent to go after their target. Those, the apology in those papers, they will have those papers in their archive. When they hold any opposition journalist, they go to court, they will use that as part of their opinion or their reference. I know he need a long, but let's take our Prophet Key. Your Honor, on February 13, 2026, a precedent was set, and I know how they can call that in lawyer. Please forgive me. that counsel they know all the legal jargon, but they will show that document in court that Prophet Key did acknowledge and apologize. Your Honor, they put the paper in front. You see, Prophet Key picture will be there with everything he said. They used that. So they're putting Prophet Key on record that not only will they use it against him in the future, but they will use Prophet Key situation as a precedent, a reference point for any targeted journalist or targeted media institution. The newspaper go in the archives. Yes, bro. They're going to keep it. It will be in the Supreme Court archive. It will be everywhere. It will have it. When state lawyer ready, they will go there and request for that identical document of February 13, 2026. They'll carry in court as a specimen, a reference. You put on your thinking cap. You look at it beyond, just beyond the surface. It is deeper than what you see unfolding. People are only excited. Oh, Prophet Key go to jail. They hang up Prophet Key. He goes to jail. I'm looking at it from a different perspective. I'm looking at it from a different perspective. This is a precedent, as the Supreme Court said, meaning anybody now who goes on to insult, you insult the president, it will come for you. You insult the chief justice, you talk some way about the House of Representatives, the regime speaker, the deputy regime speaker, the regime pro tem. Anyway, when they satisfy, they will come for you. That's what it is. They'll come for you. Because the president had been very uncomfortable. He said people can say all kinds of things on radio. So they've been finding way. And they could not use any person because there had been no person in that category of their mind to use but Prophet Key. Even though Prophet Key has that ethnic backing, the Chief Justice from Nima County, the Vice President from Nima County, Senator Tai Wonwe from Nima County, Representative Tai Wonwe from Nima County, Senator Yan Twine from Nima County, and other people, Senator Samuel Koga from Nima. So he has the Nima backing to get him out. But you can tell how the discussion went. He's not going to jail. He's not going to stay there for 6 months. No. But you know. So, yes, the other side, and then we talk our stuff, and then we out. Yes, the other side of it. Now, he's going to be handcuffed. He's already subdued. They subdue him. His own people subdue him. His employers subdue him. I think there's going to be a change in behavior. Not to a good behavior. A change in behavior, as I'm seeing it, he's feeling uncomfortable that his own people will treat him like this. Remember now, listen to his interview yesterday. He said, oh, the Supreme Court good. The Supreme Court, I never, yeah, explain that. As if he is a lawyer. The Supreme Court, I never gave him the Supreme Court. Then he said, he will not cause again. He apologized. He will not cause. His understanding is his people behind the scene have sorted out everything. So today, he felt that they would have warned him. They say, go and sin no more, like how that expression came out in Ellen's administration. Go and sin no more. Only to see that an indictment was already sealed, ready to be unsealed against him. Seeing himself going to jail. His people, not the opposition sending him to jail. This is not an opposition government. This is the government of Unity Party. The government he boasted of bringing to power, that he brought Joseph Boakai to power. He fought to bring Joseph Boakai to power. That his government, that's Unity Party government, he has never been supportive of the opposition. He had always, from day one, been against the opposition, being against the CDC government. He insulted former President George Weah for 6 years. They told him, just stay order and be insulting him. Say, oh, anything you can say against him, say it. Stay in Morocco. Don't come. When he leaves, the atmosphere will be safe for you to come. And truly, when President Weah left the presidency, became former president, they came, all of them. Prophet Key came to Liberia under the protection of Unity Party. Judy Andy took advantage of his presence here because she could not do anything because he was in another country under another or a different jurisprudence. So he came to Liberia. Judy Andy, citizen of Liberia, opted to use the law of her country. Went to the court. President Joseph Yeman Boakai, legal advisor Buju Ben Keita, dismissed Julie Andy claim, brush a exile as having no substance, defended Prophet Key. Prophet Key said, good, my people protecting me now. Beyond this, I will continue to curse anybody. He sat in this country and continued his trade. His own people in Liberia, not out of Liberia, in Liberia, got uncomfortable with the predator. So what's going to happen? If you look at some of the indicators, right now he's feeling uncomfortable, he's feeling bad. He feels betrayed. He feels let down. He feels if anything of such should be happening to him, should be the opposition with his government protecting him and not the other way around, his government persecuting him, sending him to jail. Let's assume that he's out of jail. He's not going to show any team posture. If you will see that, it will just be temporary. He will start to look for avenue by which he can get out. Once he get out of the clutches, he will turn against them even more. He feels betrayed. He feels let down that his own government, the government he said they brought to power, we told you we are from there. Joseph Boakai, the pape. The pape showed no remorse. Say you said I'm to jail for 6 months. Now the court determines. I was told from within the court, it should have been more than 6. It was commuted because he showed remorse. So the list from the Supreme Court, 6. They commuted his sentence or the duration or time of his sentence. It should have been more than 6 months. As we close on this, I want to show you something. I got impressed by it. I got impressed. I want to show you. Okay, some people hailing Senator Snow. Senator Snow said, Your Honor, Mr. Yami Kwekwe Senior, Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia and members of the Supreme Court bench, you have my right hand salute. Let's return the motherland to civility. Let's return the motherland to civility, meaning everybody should be civil. Nobody should go with any unruly. Yet now the government has also entrapped itself. Drop sentiment in politics. Don't look at it from a personality because you are this person and the Chief Justice is there and the president is this and the president. Any and everybody who is healing this and will think that it will bring civility. And if the government listens, the government entrap itself. You know what's going to happen? It will not be the government determining anything civil in this context of free speech and expression. Any attempt to do that, it will be subjecting or stifling, or there'll be no freedom of speech in this country. Then it becomes a dictatorship. Even the international community will step in. Who determines? It is not the government. Who determines? If the government will be the one determining, then the government will determine by its tender. So if you said, look, this thing said by the president is unnecessary. That is an unruly expression. They say that insult, whether you go into jail. It means that everybody now will have to zip up their lips and bow to the power that be. Everybody worships. So what kind of atmosphere we are gradually getting into? Nebuchadnezzaric atmosphere. Just how it was. You dare say anything. Nebuchadnezzar determines civility. And by Nebuchadnezzar definition of civility, do what I say, how I say it, how I want you to say, how I want you to do. Is that democracy? No. Yesterday, these same people, when former President Weah decided to bring certainty under control, they said, no, you can't stop for free speech. You can't do that. You can't do that. The law is this. The Constitution is this. You see today, when we're telling you people, you believe it, you see it? Now what's going to happen? But this is what I want to show you people. Not a fan of her, of Prophet Key's wife, but I do respect her as I respect every other person. Yeah. Yeah. Where is it? All right, let me bring you. Let's go first to Councillor Tiawan Gonglo. You will use the rest of the 20 minutes to have your say. Let's go to Councillor Tiawan Gonglo, human rights lawyer. He has reacted to the court ruling. Yeah, what he said. My position as a drafter of Liberia's free speech law, widely known as the Camara law, and as an ardent defender of constitutional freedoms, is guided strictly by the rule of law. In light of the Supreme Court's ruling regarding the recent vulgar remarks directed at the Chief Justice and Associate Justices, my view is anchored in Section 17.3 of the Liberia Penal Code, which addresses criminal malevolence and conduct that undermines public order and the administration of justice. Respect for the judiciary is not optional. It is foundational to constitutional governance and the preservation of the rule of law. While freedom of expression is fully protected under our Constitution and statutes, it does not extend to speech that threatens, degrades, and unlawfully impugns the integrity of the courts or obstructs the administration of justice. The authority of the Supreme Court must be upheld. In a constitutional democracy, all citizens, regardless of influence, position, or platform, remain subject to the law, and the dignity of our judicial institutions must be preserved for the stability and continuity of the republic. So this is Tiawangonglo. Now, listen, it is still not clear. It is still not clear. He is expressing sympathy with the Supreme Court, personality rather, of the Supreme Court. He's still not clear. It's still not clear. The law, like Teacher Lai said, a simple reasoning, you can use your intellect. It's as simple. He's still not clear. You can sense that he's being sympathetic.
I live by the law. The law is the law. I told the people who called me that for a few days after the Supreme Court cited Prophet Key for contempt, I got a lot of calls from Liberians in Liberia and abroad. And it was simple, simply because I represented a lot of media institutions, and I announced before publicly that I would dedicate my professional life to the defense of the press. I am the same person who drafted the original draft of the law that is today called the Kamara law that repealed all the anti-speech laws. But I did not include the law that punishes abusive language, disorderly conduct, 17.3 of the penal law. I live by the law. The law is the law. I told the people who called me that Prophet Key had crossed the line. His speech was criminal. Abusive language under our law is a crime. And the Supreme Court is the highest court of the land. I don't even think a magistrate court should tolerate any abusive language for any citizen of Liberia or any resident. And since the Supreme Court came down with its opinion today, I've had several calls from people. What do you think about the Supreme Court opinion? I applaud the Supreme Court opinion. The Supreme Court did extremely well to defend the sacredness of the court. We can do everything in this court, in this country, but the court must remain supreme. It's a sacred place. You cannot go on insulting the Chief Justice, the justices, or their parents, and all of that. This is so wrong. And morally, it teaches wrong lesson. We want our society to be a decent society. I defend free speech. I will defend free speech for my life.
Thank you, sir. So he said, insult under our law is wrong. It's unconstitutional. It's undemocratic. If I understood him well. Ironically or interestingly, all that he explained, he left out specification. What constitutes insult? What constitutes cursing? These are the questions. If cursing under our law is wrong, where is it in the Constitution or in any of the frameworks that we have that we can see? Because that's what the law is. That when it is there and you breach it, then the law punishes you because there is justification. That justification is the law. It's there. That's why they will say he breached article so and so or violated article so and so section this. If insult, I'm not justifying that, but I'm just putting reasoning to the floor here. I'm just being philosophical. If the lawyer, the constitutional lawyer, will say that insult under our law is prohibited, it's unconstitutional, our law forbids that, what is that provision in the law? Where's my constitution, man? Where is it? Or what other framework is it in? Like the code, they say the new penal code, the revised penal code. Where is it? To prosecute somebody that what you will use. So what constitutes insult or cursing? The other voice said it returns the country to civility. That is not true. The country is not safer because the president himself utter expressions that he ought not to utter. The vice president, the regime speaker, and other people. Are we not in this country? You listen to senators and representatives. You listen to other politicians, creating heightening atmosphere by what they say. Now listen, civility does not say that when you are not insulting, then there is civility. No, you don't need to insult, but you can say things that will cause uneasiness, that will cause a heightened atmosphere. It is the same as insulting. Government officials, I'm not backing anything here. I'd say I'm just being philosophical, meaning I'm just trying to figure out, just trying to put reasoning to the table. What constitutes insult? The lawyer say it is not, it is wrong. Our law forbids that. What provision of the law forbids that? Civility is relative. What constitutes insult? What constitutes cursing? Yesterday, there was no law to that. Yesterday, it was okay. Yesterday, it was not about civility because it was going against George Weah, whom the people did not like. The constitutional lawyers were silent. It was not about civility any longer. Yesterday, it was agitation all over the place. Yesterday, it was the organization of protests and every other thing. It was not about civility. Today, it is about civility because the man that we against, the man is no longer there. So, since the devil is out, the angel is ruling now, so everything must be white, purity. It should be absurd. Come on, you can do that. All right. So we look forward to saying, listen, that is good. That their own man went to jail. That their own man they sent to jail. They're not opposition person. So we take credit for that. Equally, we in the opposition, we are mindful. We know exactly what they want to do. We know the target. We are ahead of them. So, if your thing, you will come to us. Or if your thing, you will single out, forget it. We far ahead of you. Far ahead. That your own man you're sent to jail. That your own supporter, the man say he supported you. The man cost George Weah here. The man cost Weah wealth, cost Weah man, and other people in this country, in this country. At least only one man they had out of this country, Prophet Key sitting in Morocco. But the rest of the people they were here, there was no civility. Nobody preached the doctrine of the law that our constitution forbids cursing and all the kind of thing there. Today, no, there is law to that. You show us that law. Saying you want civility in the country, the wife should not insult her husband in the house because it will go beyond that. The wife should not insult her husband. The wife should not curse the husband. The husband should not curse the wife. The boy. Oh, but ain't that true? So that's we in a civil society now. Civil society, everybody shows civilized behavior. You have to watch your words. Your words must match your conduct match your words. It should not only be in politics, it should go everywhere. Everywhere. Because listen, the United Party official we are seeing cursing the wife, beating the wife. Yeah, that one part we can bring it also, but we can just laugh. The people who can be talking, let me say the Liberian way. The people who can be talking, see, one of them, the wife to the whore, crying like nobody been in no peace. The man really, you can call the real lashing. The one the beginning can call lash. I see you on that. So tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Yeah, Valentine's Day. They say lover. They have been looking at the history. The history is relative. But since that's the perception of the people, yeah, let's take it. So Valentine's Day. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Okay, my man has something to share with us. My grandmother, he has something to share with us. He met this lady on Valentine's Day, and he got attracted to the lady. She was beautiful, appealing, and he could not hold back his love for her, his desire, his affection, just everything. And he decided to give her an approach, or as we say in Liberian term, to approach her. And please, don't laugh, I beg you. The man is serious. That serious thing he was saying, you may approach the girl seriously. The girl stood there listening. But guess what? By the time, before the man could finish with the approach, the girl went off. I beg you, Rita, you don't laugh. And Gabriel was, I beg you, all of your CC, don't laugh. The my man about to approach the girl, the Valentine. Yes, the Valentine. Tomorrow, the Valentine. We wouldn't be on the air tomorrow. So let's take it to the pre-Valentine. So you're listening to my man here approaching his vow.
This is erotic, vivacious. This is voluptuous. Who is this clamorously glamorous and a felicitous latitudinaria? Could she be a Vigo in Tata or a Tyro? Immaculately, a corroboration of a captivating and a charming. Oh my God! This is sonorous, salubrious, and a revivalistic resonate. Let's make this moment reactivationistic, tenacious, and agglutinative. Pardon my manners, I am not a twaddler, but a logomaniac, a sesquipedalian, a rooting tooting, benevolent and not malevolent, a prodigy, a coruscate, an enigma, a virtuoso who doesn't believe in the male chauvinism. And I reside in a collocation of the intellectual bulldozers, not mediocres. I am not into malebranchism. I am only here to stir up your emotional rococo and scare away the yobos for me to fall into luxuration with this voluptuous, erotic, and vivacious inamorato. Never mind, I unleash my grandiloquence and vocabularies in chain, like the organic molecules, reminding you of the movement of your slowpogans in the days of the Alaquata Main. What? My amorousness, gregariosity, avariciousness, and cupidity has led me into the transcendental and transformation of this inoculated concupiscence, where I saw my consanguinity's advice has been vituperative, contumelious, and contumacious. Oh, what an irreparable relegation. Oh, yes. No, it reminds me of the biblical Eloi, Eloi, Lama Sabachthani and the musical Emi Semi Quaver. Oh, could it be melodramatic? Could it be mendacious, meretricious, rather veracious? Now I'm in a limbo and quandary. What an emotional perturbation. What a petulant and venomous egoistic deflection. I thought I have found my Val. Oh, now I have to kowtow in this poho. I must kowtow in this poho.
Yeah, I thought I found my Val. All that thing, I mean, that long approach. All those words, they get fainted. Yeah. The man found a vibe. He was approaching the bar. So, all of you who have found your vow, you might approach your vow that way, yeah? Let's read some of the comments as quickly as we can. Then we get to the line and then we are out. It's the weekend. Oh, God. Ruth Bodo O'Brien say, oh my goodness. Man, person again. Man, find a vow. Gabriel West, right. I don't blame these people, but President George Weah, he had the Bible and tolerated these UP fools to think they were better than others. The Baba. Rita Hart, if they think they would single us out for lie, we will cost them. The people, they're the one who determine now why you say how you say ill, where you say to whom you say. Gabriel West, Liberia isn't going anywhere. This country is filled with hypocrites, greedy clowns. Tobatsi, that's Philip Tokpa. When the people realized that Prophet Key had crossed the line, when they realized that, all right, now, that's why they're doing it now. Emmanuel Bro, Prophet Key even exerted that Nima County Senator Yan Twine is, oh, that what he said? Yeah, at them now. That's his them. That's his them. These are birds of the same feather flock together. All right, on that, Broad say, if Representative Yake Koluba isn't mindful, the government will target him for insulting the president too. Yeah, but that's it now. Once the people, they will determine now. They will determine. So when you're in public, you got to be careful. Let me impute this. Let me inject this as quickly as I can. You see, with this, they have started now. When you're in a gathering, you don't have to go on radio station. Just anywhere you are. You know what's going to happen? They're going to have some plainclothes security people just fairly acting like normal people in a normal way, doing normal things as we do. So when they hear you talking about Boaka some kind of way, they will pick you up and carry you. What it also leads to, mysterious disappearance. That's why the people look at it, all the things they say, no, just stop this. A lot of people, because you empower indirectly, you're empowering state security to harm people, to collect people. The atmosphere will be one that people will be afraid to express anything. They will be skeptical of everybody. Even your own friend who is a government official, you'll not want to talk to him. You'll not want to say certain things because you think that when you say certain things, he might call someone, any one of his people, someone will come and say, I used to say, so yeah, please follow us. They put you in a car, they carry you. That's why it's leading to. We saw the kind of atmosphere here. Well, enjoy it bad. So let's go to the line. You want to stick to your position. Don't stay long on the line. Don't stay long. Just go straight to the point and get out so that the next person comes on. Hello.
Hello, Kwatano.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
You are on the air. Let's hear your name and where you call from.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Orlando Wama. I'm calling from Uminga. You know, it's very interesting in life as a whole. The people who continue doing this thing. But my concerns have been drawn to what the prophet did. Actually, to me as a leader, it's not good to be Israeli leader. But people also telling we are that what he did in the past, tell them to stay in the past. Because people insulted him at the past, he not take no action. He forgot them. So they tell us that when time comes, anyone who abuse should be arrested and also become a leader. Why would tell you? Because you are so linear with people when someone do wrong and consider him.
Okay,
so only that have been insulting the parent, it was not fun. So this come around and tell you that in the law also.
Okay, Chief.
So what I do, you be penalized. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Let's bring on Anthony at Law A.B. Wayan. He wants to make an input. Yeah, good afternoon, A.B. and thank you for joining in. Welcome. Let's hear you. He went off, but we'll get back. Yes, I think they wanted to make an input. Yeah. So let's go to this line and then we can get back to the lawyer. Hey, what's happening? So, LIB, this country is interesting. Very interesting one. Very, very interesting one. Okay. Yes. What the women's line? Yeah, so I think we can speak with Anthony at Law A.B. Wayan. Good afternoon. Hello? Yeah, I think you are.
So let me call you Darren.
Okay. All right. That would be good. All right. So let's take this one. Let's go to the women's line. Hello? Hello? Yeah.
I have been calling for the time show response. Say the thing that he say, oh, because we are a citizen, and we have to take down our something.
All right, my Beno, you know what?
Yeah.
I bet you just hold on. Let me bring on AB because he been on hanging on for long. All right. All right. Yeah. Council?
Yes, and what's up?
Yeah. I guess you want to make an import.
Yeah, following the show, I'm interested. Yeah, so I just thought to make an import, especially when it came to the question asked as to what the law says about abuses and so forth. What is the constitutional violation? I think you were quoting Tiawan Gonglo's response to what happened. And then you were asking, what is the law? Where do we take that from? What in the Constitution that talks about that? But our law already captures that because the Constitution provides for free speech. And the Constitution did not just leave it like that. And they decided to tie it to something special. I think we had always punished people for disorderly, for abuses. It's just that they are not being taken at that level. That's what it is. Like, for instance, if somebody walks up to you at your office and whatever it is, they start insulting and doing other things that disorderly conduct. That person, what we call disorderly conduct, that is a crime. What Prophet Key did is a disorderly conduct. That's a disorderly conduct because disorderly conduct is defined. You go in any code or whatever it is, magisterial codes that have jurisdiction to deal with disorderly conducts there. So disorderly conducts are conducts such as fighting or threatening violence or tremendous behavior. It also talks about making makes unreasonable noise, using offensively coarse language, gestures or displays abusive language to someone's present. So you see, that's a disorderly conduct. So Prophet Key is disorderly towards the Supreme Court. So if anybody abuse you or do whatever, you can take them to court for disorderly conduct. If the person in the wake of that abuse, they accuse you of something that you are not and they disgrace you or whatever, that one you can call it defamation. So disorderly conduct covers exactly what Prophet Key can be doing. But he can also carry on disorderly conduct. He can also carry on defamation. Defamation is like accusing somebody and defaming their character and saying they are this. It's different from abusing somebody. So those are the differences that there. So where Prophet Key is, what he did is a disorderly conduct. In our constitution, it talks about cultural values and norms. So we get a norm already. So if your conduct is disorderly towards the constitutional norms created that suppose our cultural values, you can also be here for that. People have gone to court. People always take people to magisterial courts and things, and lower court or upper courts, or let me say circuit courts on disorderly conduct. So the abuses are disorderly conduct. People just abuse you like that are disorderly conduct. There is nothing.
And
I just wanted to clarify.
yeah, let you want to help your people because yes, before we came on the air, people been raising concerns as to whether he has options for a bill, whether the Supreme Court, as the final arbiter of justice, there can be nothing optional. He goes straight to jail. Is there a provision there that a bond can be filed for him?
No, contempts are one of those actions taken by the court that you cannot be bailed out. Because to bail out means that somebody has to come and no, they can't bail him out on the basis of contempt. No, I don't think so. So because the point of the matter is the court's decision. It is the court that determines that this is what it is. This is what you have. If the court want to reconsider, the court can reconsider itself. But the court cannot come back to say, oh, you're going to get bond, bailing out, or whatever. Nobody can bail it. To go where now? Because you can only bail somebody if a matter is pending. Let's say, for instance, they say you are convicted. Contempt is a conviction. So let's say, for instance, they say you are convicted of 25 years in prison. I can bail Kande again. That's conviction. So you can be convicted and then you be bailed out? No.
So what can help him in this situation? Put the legal issue aside, political reasoning or political persuasion intervention? Because the law has gone forth now.
Yeah, the law has gone forth. What will help him is what he's supposed to have done prior to this decision. You know, normally when the courts are coming up with these things, they are doing it for deterrence. They will have even forgiven him. But I knew that by him even apologizing, he has conceded. And by conceding, I know the law does not let you to go free. That's why you see, even if you went to court and then they say plea bargaining, just tell the people and say I did it, they will only reduce your sentence, but they will never tell you say you will not go to jail or they will not sentence you. So that which they have done is something that they did to him to serve as deterrence. Now, if you are aiming for deterrence and then you start to compromise on that measure, then the intent of the deterrence will be undermined, and the court does not want to see that happen. Whatever's supposed to happen, it happened, because there were others who were even recommending 1 year. There were others who were talking about 3 months. There were so the recommendations were coming from so forth, especially from the High Court and so forth, other people. So they chose what they think is befitting to send a message. That which they did to Prophet Key is not for Prophet Key, it's for you and myself too. It's just that we are not the one that are going to jail. That message is coming to you and myself. It's coming to all of us. Today, that message is resonating with you and myself. So tomorrow, we will not want to do that same thing. So that what that process is for deterrence. So there's nothing that can help him now. What I'm supposed to have helped him is what he has done, to apologize and then reduce the sentence. To reduce it. And I think they reduce it. I think that the best thing they did for him, to just reduce it. Because tomorrow you want to call that man, you pull him outside again. You know people. They will say, oh yeah, anyway, what they call it, get back, and then they pull him outside. You only spend 2 nails or 3 nails there. Because people watching. People are watching. Yeah. People are watching.
When you say it's not only for Prophet Key, but you and myself, generally, it means that the government might use it against certain people or certain institutions.
Well, that is not my thinking. Others may perceive it that way, that government is using the Prophet Key scenario to aim at other people. I am not thinking that way. I haven't derived other reasoning yet. What I'm trying to say is that when I said doing it to Prophet Key is a message to anybody who will contemplate doing what Prophet Key did. Now, Prophet Key's style of disposition of issues and things there is not something that's normal to our society. It is Prophet Key that introduced it. It is Yeke Korubaden that introduced such. So how many of us in this country can take to the radio and start insulting people's parents? It's not a normal thing. It is not a normal thing. That is not something that is normal. But it's now creeping. Can you imagine when President Joseph Yuma Boaka won? There were people from the CDC camp who said we ourselves were in short man court. You see why it was now becoming a regular bad norms now that were entering our society? So today, those people who are doing it or who want to follow Prophet Key, they will not follow him again. So if I'm saying that it's a message for all of us so that if I even wanted to do it like Prophet Key, I would not do it again. If I were contemplating acting like Prophet Key, I would not do it again. That's the message that's sent today. That's what I'm talking about. So that you will not just wake up and just insult people here and there. No. But like I said, maybe it's because at the Supreme Court, that's why people are taking it. But people have been going to court for disorderly conduct. They've been taking people to court for disorderly. That thing has been ever since thing. People have been taking people to court for abuses. Now disorderly conduct. These are the things. Somebody look at you, they just wake up outside, they just start cursing you all over the place. That disorderly conduct. They can go to court for it. You can carry people to court. That thing be happening. Yeah, but the way Prophet Kid dealing with leaders here and there, it doesn't matter. But people will say, oh, why? They say Josh we did not do. Yeah, maybe the kind of way it will undermine the peace and security of the country. Sometimes you want to enforce on things. But if you look at the enforcement in a way that it will undermine the security of the state, then you rather let it go, saying it is more personal. You let it go for what the state to, because you want to save the state from security issue. If the security threat that hangs over the country as a result of, or that will engulf the country as a result of that enforcement is more than just normal moral and cultural values things, then you of course say, no, let me let this person be. Yeah. But equally so, we are being silent, a government being silent, it was destroying our society. It was bad off. You know, people were now seeing it as a way of life, and which was bad. But here we are. We have a government that in power, like the Chief Justice said. The Chief Justice said, you know, some people they did it too, they didn't. The same government are supposed to take action against Prophet Key for the action against Judy Andy. And they said it was not issued, they drop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's them. They're the one now feeling the pinch of it. So what will they now say? The executive disgraced herself by backing the wrong. The judiciary came up and said, no, we will not back it. So it tells you that everyone else at different fronts and different levels are understanding things differently. That's what we saw. Yeah.
All right, B. Thank you ever so much for your input. I appreciate it.
Most welcome. Thanks always.
There's Anthony at Law A.B. William sharing his input on the ruling from the Supreme Court against Prophet Key, their own predator, Unity Party Mail. Let's go back to the lines on the other end. Let's move to the female. You went off. Hello. Yes, good afternoon.
Okay, this is Peter Carr. I'm calling from Township West Point. Is it possible for that thing where happening? What is just talking about? Let it go to let's go to the beginning law. Because that was saying it. The other person will come. The other one will cost. Yes, it will be because about the law. So we get ready to call on the side. So please, if you want to receive us, you must have beginning law. You want to know where is in the law. Or having a birth will be law. So let's try and go to law. Let it send it, then let it go there and begin law. Please to big there so we can know what will happen tomorrow. Thank you for the program.
Thank you too. Have a nice weekend. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sir Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Yes, it's Jennifer calling from Church. Thank you very much, Sir Andrew. Sir Andrew, my brother, he said, oh, that the carry for Prophet Key is for us. We in opposition. We were in government, so we need to be insulting before we were in opposition. Thank God that they tell me prisoner on their own. Carlos Pano and the Mina Pia that insult me and president, we are in a time. They are enemy. Now we are Prophet Key alone. They are ministering like a big question on Facebook. When they cost, we know that we will take a remand, the Chief Justice. We tell God, thank you that they say to them, they are ministering and they say to A. That no anybody cost. Now we Prophet Key, they will go for you. When you found guilty, you will go in jail. We tell God, thank you, because when we the opposition and our journal, they will not hear no cost because you get a peace and we get a peace. But that didn't work first good year, I think justice say you're not taking action. Yes, we take action because at that time you always know for war. Where you're not going to abuse in president, we will president. We say we don't want your corporate. We are our time. Who court leader? We are trained. The United States what the memo. We are the grand level drop them there. Nima can receive them there for constant president. We are. They don't say, but we drop them there. They receive them there. So thank God they say to everybody. They think I can hear it. That any minister of course that people will take their part. And then you just say that your minister are here work. But the other minister go that's let the just they do it. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Andrews. I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I call my purple corner, down Coast Spoon Hill, Wingtown community. Mr. Andrews, I want to firstly applaud the Anthony and Lord, Anthony Abraham Godson Will. But I want him to provide clarity on this issue. The issue with Prophet Key and that of Azifa Tupa, disturbing a sitting president's wife. What is it different than what happened to the Chief Justice today? And my next thing has to do with Jawan Se Gonglo. Honor President Wia Jawan Se Gonglo was a president for the Liberian Bar Association. Did he know at the time that abuse was wrong when he was openly supporting the guys in opposition? Where is Councillor Fine Kanga? Who every time file a bill for the guys that even led to Menepako Dimoy, More Ali and other people standing against the government of the day?
Yeah, but let's see now, Spencer, like the lawyer said, like AB said, at that time, the government then did not find it necessary. It was within their power, but they did not find it necessary. Probably they did not want to undermine the peace and stability of the country. So this government,
there were for me, my dissatisfaction is, are they telling us that President Weah was more lesser than the president we have today? Or is it because President Weah did not come for the elite? That's why they treated him this way? And for me, that's my dissatisfaction. It means there are two categories of people. Thank you very much for always giving us the opportunity to make our presence on national issues. Thank you, Mr. Andrew.
Hello?
Well, I don't know, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Edmoka, and I'm the visually impaired pushing for the return of President Weah. You know, the Anthony Law set the basis for us well, you know, because that is why I always say to people, when you hear them say, oh, yeah, they didn't fight against corruption, and the people are here fighting corruption, where you want to have anything to do with it. If even they are doing it the right way, and at that time we could not do it, no, you know what it means? Your country coming from war, and then immediately, President, we are taking over, complete drawdown, everything is left in our hands. So maybe looking at all of those things, it's not because they were weak, it's not because they're going to take some steps, but it was just necessary at the time to just let go certain things, so as to allow us focus on our development. You know that President Weah was weak. And again, at that time, it was happening to the executive. And the executive did take complaint to the legal people, we is the district branch of government. And the district branch of government doesn't go around looking for cases. You have to carry your case and say, hey, Prophet K, Yake Koluba, insulting me, insulting my wife, all of that kind of stuff. Then you see what the district system could have done at the time. But as we said, he didn't necessarily let it go so that today, these guys can pay for the action as it is said in the Bible, no single or punished that what he is paying for today. So, let me say to citizen, this is not your celebration. Don't join the United Party people to celebrate and send their own to jail. No, it's not your celebration. You are the victim of this thing in the past. President was not set at that time. Today, President is saying, United Party people are celebrating that they say one of their own in jail. You should not be part of the celebration. All you do, let us be on the fence and watch the prevailing situation and see what comes next. That we are consistently say that we need to watch up and see what happens next. In my mind, one of the party could be next. Yeke Koluba. You need to watch your body. Because mind you get enormous supporting the guy. And he still brutal on there. So if he is following the whole situation that is happening right now, you need to watch your body. They come down all political voices in the country.
All right,
You could be one of the persons that would be targeted. So you need to watch your body. So to conclude, not stay away from that celebration. That is a Unity Party celebration. We're now a part of it. And let our Prophet Key pay for a action. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a nice weekend. Let's get out of Liberia. Hello.
Good morning, Andrew. Sam.
Yeah, hi. How are you?
Doing pretty good. I got cool, but listening to the show, I said, let me call in and get my little 2 cents. Thank you for the topic on the discussion. This is my mother, Rebecca, calling from Minnesota in the U.S. You know what the government is doing? AB said something just now before leaving the line. It's you guys that they want to come after. You hear me? Prophet Key, it's not because it's not today Prophet Key started cursing man cause. It's not today. You can call about them cursing people here, cursing the women. They were over there when Prophet when what her name? You can call about was describing our vice president, which is Molo Joa. You understand me? Where were they? What were the elders today that coming out not to speak on the radio that what Prophet Key did against this, that, and what? It's not Prophet Key they are running after. Let me tell you now that you guys they want to come after. That when you say anything about them, so they can say, oh, and we can jail Prophet Key. It's not for my cause business. That why yesterday when I came on the show, I was telling AB, I said the government want to they want to cover up. You understand me? They want to come after you people. I know you all will now come on the radio to insult our mothers, to look at your mothers, your sister, your wife there to curse them. But they are things that you will say so they can come against you people. Come after you, you can hold it against you and put you in jail. That's why they say they use it Prophet Key. Doing president, we are time. I remember because me, I used to watch I follow you people, I follow all the lines on Liberia. Because of the Liberia, we can't sleep in this country. You understand me? I remember when President we went to open dedicate the Dupo Road market. That ceremony, that's how he said it went. He said, on today's day, those that insulting my dead mother and my wife, for today's day, I can come to dedicate the market. Anybody that will insult me or insult my mother, that person will go to jail. It will take 2 seconds. You can call about using the F word. We don't errors in our country. What them? What was the Supreme Court? Now what the other court just said? Well, because President he's not from the Jonesy? Or because he's not from the Jackson? Or because he's not talking in your nose? Yeah, stop what they're doing. They will put Prophet King outside. They put now outside. Why they go put him in jail for?
But the man going to 6 months jail.
What do they want to prove now? What do they want to prove now? The Supreme Court. All the cases are in Africa, killing people, children, raping people, boys and girls, children. But because they cause what if the justice minister that why they put the Prophet Key in jail, they're not Prophet Key they coming after. Let me tell you now. It's not Prophet Key. They don't want to use Prophet Key's story so they can come after us. When they do wrong, when we speak about it, so they can come after us. That's why they're doing so. Thank you for the show. Get a free Prophet Key.
All right.
And your own snake that is nurture, that is crow. We know their trick. Thank you, Papa.
Have a nice day there in the United States. Hello.
Good afternoon, big brother Sam. Thank you for the opportunity. This is Mark L. Johnson, a call from district number 10. To be precise, I'm the vice chair of operation of the CDC-COP. Big brother Sam, the Chief Justice, is not serious. Why do I say so? the Chief Justice that today now taking Prophet Key to prison for 6 months because of insulting him. Prophet Key yesterday at the time, Prophet Key was insulting the head of state, the first lady, and that of the head of state's mother. He did not take actually was set on the Supreme Court bench. And then moreover, a lawmaker or certain lawmaker for the family, when the horse were in the saga of the speakership, wherein he president, Mr. Boyka, that was there subscribing with the majority bloc. When he went in Nimba and made a statement to what was unfolding with the house there, when he gave an opinion, when he said that, oh yes, that Speaker Kofa is in the right direction, for the family came and said, oh yes, that there was a legal talk to him. Wasn't denigrating to him. I think that was so. I think it was denigrating. They even insulting that even the Prophet Key was to say, oh yeah, insulting his mother. I think that was denigrating to him. Integrity was mentioned down the line. I think it was to take action against for the family and to say today you are
right, Chief.
Prophet Key. Because why? You know I said this. Right 22 say clean up a child in the way that he should go when he is old. You're not depart from it. You clean up this child here. You brought the child this way. You make him to be oriented with insult of big people then. Then what right, you feel offended. Do not feel offended. You clean up the child this way. So you should buy by it. Thank you for many time.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Sam.
Yeah, G's partner.
Oh, that is G's one. But G's how they show pay. How they studio.
No,
Thank you for the show, Papa. We say thanks to Augustine William. Hello, that thanks to all sides of society. But I want to say, Liberians are talking about Liberians are celebrating. We not celebrating because because yesterday there was petition that was priced of presidential seat. Don't do that. You can say error, perfectly say yes. What can many perfectly? You say yes, oh perfectly. You can say error when he flew over a car and black traffic. The whole world, everybody was there. Everybody ran there. For why his job was there. And when they called a point when yes, oh your car was fast, he ran there himself and flew over a car and installed Joey's mother. And he even saw passing through mother and defund the government. They were here at that time. What's going on? Today, Pepeki is sorting Chief Justice. But yesterday, he sorted the other woman and left the power yesterday. Telling you, after the woman told them, Royal Day was Royal, go back and do the right thing. Pepeki keep on your live to say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on the war stage.
So, you know the main intro, eh?
Oh, I know the main intro. You know.
What is it? What's the main intro?
Oh, the man said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, come on the war stage.
You're not still that one in your mind, oh?
I can say that. I think that in my mouth, in my brain.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Boys and girls, come to the war stage. Come to the war stage. And that's what we're going to say to justice. And see, we're carrying that news. And today, the man said, President was to be telling you. Because then you said the right thing at that time. He said, you go back and do the right thing. They say, yes. When they beat a lawmaker, it's such a lawmaker mother today, you tell it all because she said, oh, your mother is ex-wife because she get extra on her body. She cannot be insulted. You call it up Perfect Key and say sending it to jail. For me, I'm not happy about it. I want to release now. They wrote Perfect Key because yesterday Perfect Key did it and the people were clapping. Even the people you saw saying that you were in liquor bottle after you said the truth to the people. They went after him. Yes, he said bro in the gun, he drank liquor, that's why he was talking liquor. The people is talking him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Boys and girls, come to the war stage. So when they come to the war stage, what you want to put them to the war stage behind back?
All right.
No, you destroy the man war stage and ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
All right.
Destroy it.
All right, I see you. I see you.
Don't let the issue there that they choose on the ground.
I see you.
Release that man now.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. All right, man. You did extremely well. You're spice of the show. Thank you ever so much. We appreciate it. Thank you. All of you great people. That's why we like to be in your presence. We do it for you people sacrificially. Thank you. And you bring so much joy to us by your presence. Yes. So, today is Friday. Yes. The CDC hour is on 6:50. Isiaka Sharif and Josephine Pello Johnson. And then at 8 this evening, Newton Tukba and the Diaspora team on Face the Issues. But here's it. Let's go home with this one. Let me bring you this one. Very, very historical. Great. Have a listen carefully. Let's go with this one.
The greatest players of all time. Names like Pele, Maradona. 10 years from 1994 to 1996 conversation. But there is one player whose peak performance was nothing short of world class and whose story is an inspiration across Africa and the globe. George Weah. George Weah's prime years from 1994 to 1996 saw him dominate both Paris Saint-Germain and AC Milan, combining incredible speed, raw power, exceptional technique, and mental toughness. Weah was nearly unstoppable. Defenders like Maldini, Barisi, and Nesta found him a nightmare to mark. In 1995, Weah achieved something remarkable. He won the Ballon d'Or, FIFA World Player of the Year, and African Footballer of the Year, a clean sweep of football's most prestigious individual awards. If Weah's peak played in today's game, he would be a top 5 striker globally, blending the power of Erling Haaland with the pace and finishing of Kylian Mbappe. Africa has produced some of football's most electrifying talents. Evaluating by peak performance, the hierarchy includes George Weah, Samuel Eto'o, Didier Drogba, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, Yaya Toure, Riyad Mahrez, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, JJ Okocha, and Achraf Hakimi. While recognition is sometimes limited by league exposure or media coverage, these players reached world-class peaks and left a lasting mark on global football. Despite their talent, African footballers are often underappreciated. Media coverage tends to be Eurocentric. Champions League visibility was limited, and national team contexts sometimes hindered recognition. Even so, African players consistently demonstrated elite skill, speed, and technique, proving that talent was never the issue. Opportunity and exposure often were. Evaluating players purely by their peak, George Weah belongs in Tier 1, alongside legends like Maradona, Messi, Ronaldo Nazario, Pelé, Zidane, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Weah's 1995 peak alone confirms his place among the very best, showing that African talent can compete at the highest global level. If Weah played in today's game, he would dominate top leagues as a versatile forward, whether as a central striker, left winger, or counter-attacker. Compared to modern stars, Mbappe shares his pace, but Weah is stronger and more direct. Haaland is bigger, but Weah is more mobile and explosive. Salah excels in tight spaces, while Weah dominates straight-line runs. Simply put, prime George Weah would be unstoppable today. To visualize this, the infographic compares global legends like Messi, Ronaldo, Maradona, and Ronaldo Nazario, alongside African icons like Weah, Salah, Eto'o, Drogba, and Mane. Using metrics such as speed, skill, and technique, it clearly shows how Weah's peak places him among the world's elite. George Weah's peak performance secures his place among football's greatest icons. African legends continue to reach world-class heights, and their impact deserves recognition on the global stage. George Weah is not just Africa's best, he is one of the greatest footballers in the world at his peak.
In the heart of Africa, where dreams take flight, with rhythms of the land, we gather in the light.
Though retired from the game, this talent is on display on tomorrow. You want to be there to see, stay fresh. The idea still on after several years of leaving the game. You want to be around tomorrow to see. Yes. The global icon, the man who lives in the hearts and minds of the world, the man whom the world pays a deep homage, gratitude, the name that the world still wants to see on the global page. This name, this icon, this talent is on display tomorrow, Saturday, at the Invincible Park, as you heard Teacher Light say last night. Yes. This is how we go home. Thank you ever so much for being with us, man. We appreciate all of you. As I said, the CDC hour is on at 6:50, and then at 8 o'clock, Newton Tokpa and the Diaspora team will be in with and face the issues. Yes, that's it. That's all the time we've got. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So, our man, let's go home with our man. Our man approaching again. I see you. Pick up your vow, send something to your vow, whatever is a vow. This is the man's vow. Man is approaching his vow.
This is erotic, vivacious. This is voluptuous. Who is this clamorously glamorous and a felicitous latitudinaria? Could she be a Vigo in Tata or a Tyro? Immaculately, a corroboration of a captivating and a charming. Oh my God! This is sonorous, salubrious, and a revivalistic resonate. Let's make this moment reactivationistic, tenacious, and agglutinative. Pardon my manners, I am not a twaddler, but a logomaniac, a sesquipedalian, a rooting tooting, benevolent and not malevolent, a prodigy, a coruscate, an enigma, a virtuoso who doesn't believe in the male chauvinism. And I reside in a collocation of the intellectual bulldozers, not mediocres. I am not into malabranchism. I am only here to stir up your emotional rococo and scare away the yobos for me to fall into lustration with this voluptuous, erotic, and vivacious inamorato. Never mind, I unleash my grandiloquence and vocabularies in chain, like the organic molecules, reminding you of the movement of your slowpogans in the days of the Alaquata main. What? My amorousness, gregariosity, avariciousness, and cupidity has led me into the transcendental and transamination of this inoculated concupiscence, where I saw my consanguinity's advice as being vituperative, contumelous, and contumacious. Oh, what an irreparable relegation. Oh, yes. No, it reminds me of the biblical Eloi, Eloi, Lama Sabachthani and the musical Emi Semi Quaver. Oh, could it be melodramatic? Could it be mendacious, meretricious, rather veracious? Now I'm in a limbo and quandary. What an emotional perturbation. What a petulant and venomous egoistic deflection. I thought I have found my Val. Oh, now I have to kowtow in this poho. I must kowtow in this poho.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you.
The ABC again a year. Yes, the ABC that we learned in our early school days. And I can't again to make plenty of money for us. Yes.